Everybody. I'm happy that there are a lot of attendees in this particular session. This is Sangam Mitra here. I'm the Director of Possible Training and Consulting Services. We are primarily an HR consulting and training firm and have been doing a lot of work in the domain of HR. So I'm sure that all of you are waiting for what is it all about, what is digital transformation, how things are going to be led by the HR fraternity. So we will discuss all these gradually. And for the time being, let me just start with something which everybody talks about. People say that the change is the only constant thing, and this is not a new quote. Everybody knows that. There have been a lot of instances where pandemics, war, crisis has actually led the whole world into disruption. There have been economic crises, many ways, but every situation has always led to something or the other positive. If we really have to feel today how disruption is leading us and how disruption is really pushing us back into a backseat and asking us to think through, let us just compare what happened to 50 years back during the World War II. World War II, a very big event in the world history. Germany absolutely devastated, Japan devastated, so many countries devastated. But they all came out to be one of the rising economy in this world within a span of 20 to 30 years. So it's not about we cannot move out of this crisis. We just need to know how do we move out of this particular crisis. So let's look into digital transformation as one of the areas. Today, for the last almost 1.5 months, many countries, many cities, all offices, they are pushed to have people working from home, or either they have to work from home or stay at home. In this scenario, let us really understand what exactly is digital transformation and how people are, what is being talked about in this particular world. Friends, digital transformation actually works on 3 gears. One is digitization. The first thing which happens is digitization. The second is digitalization. And the third comes digital transformation. So let me just update and make you little bit aware of what exactly is digitization. When we start the whole digitization process, the first part which people want to take over as a part of the digital process is converting a few of the manual processes into digital processes. So when we really think that this is a process which is mundane, which we can digitalize, and we go ahead with using some technology to convert a manual process to a technical process, that aspect of the digital transformation is called digitization, which is your step number 1. Now, when we convert the digitization, when we are starting with the digitization, it is definitely going to take some time. And any digital as well. The first step when an organization looks into digitization, they start evaluating what are the different technologies which we can use to convert a manual process of this particular department or a certain task of a particular department to make it better, to make it faster, to make it more scalable, to make it more economic. And this is what is the thought process which comes to an organization's mind and the leader's mind, considering digitization as a process. Let me take you to the second level. Once we are set that yes, this is what is the technology we want to convert or we want to use in our organization, the next part which is going to come is digitalization. And when I'm talking about digitalization, it's about a culture. It's absolutely a paradigm shift in the second step of the digital transformation. Digitalization is all about building that culture in the organization where the people are accepting technology. Because we will go in depth of each and every all the three steps: digitalization, as well as digital transformation. But just for an overview, for a layman understanding, let me just tell you what is digitalization. For us to clearly understand what is digitalization, it is the shift of the organization culture from a manual thinking to a digital thinking. We start accepting technology, we start learning technology, we start pushing people to accept technology. And this whole change, which is going to come over a period of time, comes under the part of digitalization. My friends, if we are done with digitization and the second step, which is digitalization, the third aspect of digital transformation is all about building that aura, building the organization structure, building the financials around digital transformation. I'll take you through each and every step, all the three gears. It's just like a car. We are a little slow in the gear one. When we cross maybe 20 kilometers, or when the wheels start running, we shift our gear from 1 to 2, and similarly from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So if we have to really understand this digital process, the first step we will really try to understand is about digitization. Let us see what comes under digitization as a process. In the whole scenario, every department plays a very, very crucial role. It is all about identifying which particular process in our department can be shifted from a manual process to a digital process. Now, there are so many tasks which we do. In every department, for every role of the people, there are multiple tasks which is being done in order to meet organization goals. But digital transformation will never happen until we identify the process which needs to be first converted from a manual process to a digital process. Now let us assume that every department, they have identified that of the maybe 200 tasks we are doing, maybe these are the top 15 tasks or 20 tasks which we want to convert from a manual intervention to a digital intervention. After that particular task is over, every organization will move into the step 2 of the digitization process, which is hyper-awareness. What is hyper-awareness? Hyper-awareness is a situation where you have to look into all the options of the technology which is available in the market to address your need. In case you really think through that, in the sales process, I'm going to digitize my CRM, my sales leads, the database of the sales process. If that is the task or that is the process which you have identified, the next part is you have to search for a CRM software. Part of your activity in the whole process is a part of your hyper-awareness. Now, why is it called hyper-awareness? Hyper is always means high. Awareness means your accessibility to the available resources is what is awareness. Now, when you have to really think through that this is the technology which I'm going to build, it is very important that we understand what are our options in this technology. So people will start taking demos, they will start touch basing with the different software companies and ask for to understand each and every aspect of the technology. This entire part of your work as a process of the digital transformation is hyper-awareness. Now, if you have decided that this is my task which I'm going to take up in my digital transformation process, the next step is I'll identify what are the technologies which are available in the market today that can help me address my requirement. Now, once we are done with the identifying of the processes and the third step which we have to do is about information or informed decision making. Now, you know that these are the 10 softwares which are available. These are the 10 technologies which are available. And you have to now start comparing what are the pros and cons on each and every technology, what are the pros and cons of each and every process, whether it is going to help me, it is not going to help me. And in this whole work, you have to take an informed decision making. When we are taking informed decision making, my friends, believe me, it's not easy to take an informed decision making. Many people, they are clear what task they have to automate. They are clear what technology they have to use, but they get stuck up in the decision making process. And there are a lot of emotional skills, there are a lot of human behavioral skills which are involved in not letting you have an informed decision making. We will definitely talk about it in the later half. But let me take you through. After we are clear with the digitization process, let me take you through the challenges which are going to come in this particular part of the digital process. In this digital process, the first one is all about identifying the task which needs to be automated. Now, suppose we have 20 tasks. And out of the 20 tasks, you really identified that these are the top 3 tasks which I'm going to automate. There might be another colleague who will say, no, not these 3 tasks. Maybe we should automate the other 3 tasks. There will be 10 people involved in the HR department who will have different processes, different ideas, and zeroing down on a particular task which needs to be done takes time. That is a challenge which we have to live through. Yes, it is going to happen like this. The second challenge which every HR or every person, every department which is going to face in the digitization process is all about the speed of understanding. It's not easy to take demos. It involves your time. It involves your understanding. It involves your depth. To what depth do you really want to understand a particular technology? Now, and it has to be done at a speed because there is a certain timeline within which you have to convert your manual process to a digital process. Otherwise, it is a lack of ROI which will happen. The second challenge for every department becomes speed of understanding. We have to be really fast in understanding the technology. Another challenge is, suppose, for example, now you know what is your task and which technology you are going to accept. After that is about convincing your senior management or your reporting or maybe your management or the business owner that this is what it is and we should go about it. So convincing is a skill set. And we have to be really good at convincing our senior management because any business owner or any management person in the management, a key stakeholder, they will have multiple issues to solve. For you, for a particular department, it's important to digitize one process. But for a senior person, it's about looking into multiple departments, looking into whole company. So it's very important that as a key stakeholder, I need to have a convincing skill or the capability of convincing to go to my senior and convince. If we are clear, I guess we are now clear. And just to wrap up about the digitization process, guys, what we have to do, number one, the key stakeholders, they have to really identify which process they want to automate. They have to be good at hyper awareness, understanding a lot of technologies which are there in the market, and about informed decision making. Let me now take you through the digitalization process. What happens in the digitalization process? It's amazing. It's amazing. And if a couple of people here, you belong to the HR department, you will know how important is the HR's role in this part of the digital transformation process. The first part of the digitalization is awareness. We as an organization or a department have to be aware that yes, it's time for us to change. And this is a part of the change management which HR has to lead. Beyond HR, it has to be all the departmental heads which will take the digitalization process to a leap-bound success. But we cannot implement anything. No company is able to implement anything without the support of their people. Key stakeholders have to be taken into confidence. Important are the pain area of any process has to be told to people. We need to communicate with people that this is why we are doing it. What is the need of this change? So the first role which comes into the whole digitalization process is creating awareness in the company. Whether you are a small company, you are a part of the small company, or you're a part of a big company, a large corporate, irrespective of any irrespective of the size of the company, my dear friends, believe me, awareness is something which we are really not very good at even till now. It's important that we create this awareness among our stakeholders, among our people, among our employees, all the departments, that there is a need of going digitalization. The next one is about, after you create the awareness in the organization, why do you want to create the awareness? Output of creating this awareness? Oh yes, the output of creating awareness is we have to sensitize everybody to go to a certain culture, to accept a certain culture. Now, what is the culture? Which digital transformation demands? The culture is the culture of agility. And what is agility? It's all about being flexible to accept certain change. Now, in this process of digitalization, who is going to talk to the people? Who's going to tell them that this is the advantage, this is the benefit? Who's going to build that culture in the organization? If you are guessing it right, yes, a primary stakeholder, a lead, frontline lead of this process is the HR department. Nevertheless, to say, it doesn't happen by the HR department only. It has to be the HR along with other departments in the process. Now, once we are gradually building this particular culture, as a team, we have to align ourselves how digital transformation is going to meet the strategic goals of the organization. The organization has its own vision. The organization will have their own mission and the values. But what the department is going to do, what any particular stakeholder is going to do, is there a direct link to the strategic goal? If yes, your power of convincing goes very high. Your need of convincing goes very low. And automatically the owners or maybe the management, they will be oriented towards understanding that this culture is really going to benefit us and is in line with the strategic goals which the company is going to make. I'll tell a story about one of the organization. There was one of the organization who was having maybe around 200 employees, and it is a manufacturing setup. Lot of labor intensive. It's a labor intensive industry, and a lot of people who are a part of the organization are primarily laborers. In this scenario, the HR really was feeling that what part of HR should we digitalize? And they are so scared that our people cannot read, our people cannot write. How are we going to digitalize it? This was a matter of that particular organization 5 years back. But in the whole process, there was a change which came in the person who joined in the department. The whole thinking of the organization changed. This person started understanding and started seeing what are the different challenges which as a department we are facing. What are the challenges which my employees are facing? What are the challenges which my owner is facing? And this bright, brilliant boy, he started looking into all these challenges and gradually zeroed down into these are the top 5 or 6 challenges which are mundane. And we can easily automate it, even if we are not automating the whole department. And there started the sowing of the seed of the thinking of digital transformation. It is not difficult to be done. It's only requirement of a thinking process. Now coming to the digital, after we are done with the digitalization alignment of our organization, friends, we are now leading to digital transformation. Because what we have done till now, we have till now identified our task. We have till now identified what technology we are going to use. We have come to a scenario where we are convincing the management in terms of the investment, in terms of the use of the technology to ease out a certain process. We are building awareness among our people. We are gradually building a culture setup among our people and trying to align the strategy towards the strategic goal of the organization. Now let us assume that a certain company is able to achieve step 1, which is digitization, and step 2, which is digitalization. Now coming to the step 3, next process. The next process in this whole work is about agility. Do you really feel that agility is a skill set which drives an organization? How would be the success of an organization possible if people are not ready to change? If people are not ready to innovate, if people are resistive towards any new process which is being built, it's tough. It's actually tough for an organization in case you have majority of the people belonging to that set. But today, with the push of the pandemic, there are multiple organizations we have been speaking to, and most of their people who never ever knew even how to operate digitally have now started. Knowing that you never know when the company will ask us to really work digital. So that's a big change which is happening in this scenario. And currently, we have a lot of companies who are also exploring that how can we manage this digital transformation of our organization and have our people being able to access all digital technologies. Now, assuming that the technical agility is being brought in an organization, and the departments, the HR department, the other departments together have actually built this agility sensitivity among the employees. That was, we are now going to change, there is a need of the change, and let us now look at how we are going to change. After this particular process is being done, who is the next question which an organization has to answer is, who is going to lead this big change? Digital, not a small change. It's a very big change. Now, who are the technical leaders? Who are the leaders who will be leading the initiation of the digital transformation? Now, there is a question mark which we have got when we started speaking to multiple organizations. Many people, they feel that I'm not digitally sound. How do I lead a change? I'm not aware of what is happening in the market technically. How do I lead this change? But friends, let me tell you, it's not about you knowing the technology. It's only about you wanting to have the change in your organization. You wanting to lead the change in the organization. You really wanting to do some change for your development. And that's the help of, and that these are the people who are going to lead the change. The organization today, we have spoken to people who have organized 1,000 employees, also with around 1,000 to 5,000 employees, and also approximately less than 1,000 employees as well. Most of the people, most of the HR today sitting at home, they're trying to identify who are our successors, who are the people who are going to lead our change so smoothly that we are in a safe side someday. Who is going to do this task? Even if the department, but one of the primary lead agent here is the HR department. The HR has to facilitate the whole process of doing this digital transformation, as a result of which the HR today, many senior HRs or maybe the HR executives or managements, they are sitting today at home, looking into all the employee database, finding out what is the skill set of which person in our organization and who are the top couple of people who can be brought to lead this particular change. Guys, this work has already started 2 months back, and it is going to continue for multiple months now, because today, after this pandemic, many of the organizations, they are really thinking of having virtual work. They're really thinking of having virtual space. I mean, not having an office as one of the work areas, but maybe virtual areas. In this scenario, after we achieve, these are the tech leaders who are going to lead the whole change. And to be very precise, tech leaders does not mean that you have to be very sound. Tech leaders are ideally those people who want the technology change to be brought into their company. Once these type of people are being identified by the corporates, the next step which a corporate follows is all about operational excellence. Now we know the technology, we know the task which to do the change, we know the people who will be leading this particular change, and now this is the right time to understand whether this whole change or the pain or the change which we are going to do as an organization, they are going to help achieve the operational excellence. Now tell me, friends, what is the role of HR here? It's all about HR metrics. So started with the digitization process. When we do step number 1, I'll just take you to the step number 1. When we are doing digitization, the step number 1, the HR's role is primarily in identifying softwares, in identifying tasks which can be changed, in identifying the commonality or maybe the philosophy between their organization and from where they are going to take the services. When we come to the step number 2, digitalization, what is the HR's role which is going to have here? Creating awareness, that means communication, culture, organization change. Change management is a big work here for the entire HR department. Strategic goals alignment, that or to assess and align them to the strategic goals. When the organization moves from step number 1 to step number 2 and now comes into the step number 3, the primary role of an HR here becomes to have people accept the agility, to create a culture which actually helps the digital transformation take place. Now let us look into the challenges which the digital transformation is going to create. Employee pushback. A big challenge is about employee pushback. Not every employee is so cooperative enough that they will accept the change. But there has to be a role to be played here. It's not about the change is not being done for a particular employee. The change is done for the good of the organization. Now that has to be kept in mind. What is the next challenge which the company is going to face or the department who is leading the change is going to face? It's about lack of expertise to lead the whole process. Many people today, we have people very good at manual processes, but we barely have a few or maybe a handful who are ready to lead this particular change. So there is something which is going to happen. The next one is about lack of digitization strategy. We really don't know what to digitize, when to digitize, how much to digitize, from where to digitize. The strategy is really little difficult. And these are a couple of challenges here. Running the poll now. Can we run the poll now? We will just conduct a poll wherein answer, where do you feel your organization is currently in terms of the digitalization process, in terms of the digital process or the digital transformation? Good. So we have 33% people saying that maybe they belong to a digitization process, around a 43% coming to digitalization. Okay. Yeah, it's good to see that the numbers are running, but majority of the people have felt that their company is currently into digitization, the first step. Many of you do also feel that there are digitalization process or digitalization has already taken place. But yes, my dear friends, digital transformation is way far to be achieved for many. Let's look into what are the leading HR activities to create this digital transformation and what is the role of the HR in this whole process? Everybody, a lot of people, they are speaking that the CHROs, the HR managers, the HR executives, all the people in the HR, they have to lead this change. Now coming to how and what skill set are required for the HR to do this particular change. My dear friends, the first one is about digital awareness. We have to read what is digital awareness. As a gamut, as a fraternity, it's really important for us to know what is digital awareness. What are the scope? If I have to really speak about HR as a department, do we know what are the digital technologies we can use in recruitment? Many of the people will say an easy setup is ATS, application tracking system. But there are many, many things which are beyond ATS. Do we have a, do we have a format where you can really have your interviews done online? Can you check on the technical skill set of your people online? Can you check on the behavioral setup of your interviews? So there are a lot of startups, lot of large companies who have applications which addresses simple tasks for you. But it's important as a department, we need to be aware what exactly can we do out of these processes. Now, as an HR fraternity, the next one which every HR has to do in the next few years to come is about making the company agile and adaptable. We have to just go and speak people. It's all about going and talking to people, making them understand the technology, not asking them to understand how to use the technology. We will come. It's important for any department who is leading the change to tell people why it is important. It's not about how to do, it's about why to do. If we are clear why the company is going towards a digital forum, if we are clear, if people are clear why the company is going forward for this particular change, my dear friends, believe me, it's easy to accept. It's very easy to accept. But many areas, many events we have observed where technology has been pushed on people. And when there is a push, there is a rise of resistance which will happen. Another leading HR activity which is going to crop up in the next few years is about new skilling. Training, skilling as a department has always been a laid back decision for any organization because nobody is interested who are interested to invest into training. But the current era has really pushed hard to make everybody realize that in case we would have had skilled people or digitally skilled people in our organization, today 30%, today less than 25% of the workforce is engaged at home. There are almost 75% of the workforce to work, willing to work. They are willing, they have the willingness to work, but the technology, the skill of using the technology was not there. So after I take you through the 3 HR activities which are going to be really prime in the next 5 years to come, the most important impact which the HR has to now focus is a big shift in the whole way the company, shift in the whole way the organization achievements are being tracked. We as a fraternity have always paid value to processes. But with the current crisis situation and people moving from a pandemic situation, trying to normalize the whole work, with the loss which the business has faced in this many months, the difficulty of regaining the normal operation back, one of the change area in the productivity of the employees, which is going to be seen, is a shift of the mindset from a process-driven work to an outcome-driven work. People will not be interested anymore about what process you are following, how good you are doing. No. Now the mindset which is going to change, and you will see that this effect you are going to see in the next 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years time, that people will be valued on the outcome which they are giving the organization. It's not about how good a process they are creating. Qualification is as a skill set, as a parameter in the interview process is going to decrease, because most of the organization today wants people who can work and give the output and do not value only qualified people. You look into Google, you look into Apple, you look into Microsoft, there are so many organizations who have employed even people who are not graduations. But what is the skill set? They have come out with innovative solutions. There are few people who have contributed really nice. They have not been able to write their CV well, but they have been one of the eye for detail person in the organization. That's a big shift which is going to happen in the next 6 months to 1 year time. And it will be a visible shift because people will be valued. People will more.
Hey everyone, we think for give us 5 minutes. We are getting back Sangmi. Nowadays this pandemic situation, everybody at their home. A lot of time happens, this type of thing. So please bear with us for some time. We will be getting her back.
Hello.
Yeah, we have Sangmitra here. Sangmitra, you can take it from here.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't even know where did I dropped, where I got dropped. Okay, so but what I was trying to just to narrate or maybe build the link where what we were discussing is about the change which is going to happen in terms of the HRs, the skill set in the organization. So the last one which I was addressing is about there is a shift of mindset which is going to happen, and that's about moving from the process driven results to an outcome driven situation. And a cross functional scenario is going to take up right now where task force will be created. A lot of organizations, they have already started building task force. And by task force, what I mean is there are cross functional task forces which are being built in terms of addressing certain situation. The willingness and the skill set to work with the cross functional team is going to be on high demand right now. Being an HR, I need to have an understanding of sales. Being an HR, I have to understand operations as a skill set. I have to understand security. I have to understand IT. And that is these people who are leading themselves towards cross-functional training are going to be the top leaders in the next 5 years to come. And this is going to focus. Why is it going to happen like that? It's only because now the focus of many organizations is directly on the return of investment of anything which is being done. Now, in case we have to focus on the ROI, the cross-functional teams are going to help you achieve the ROIs. When we have now spoken about the different steps of having a digital transformation, what is the step one? What is the step two? What is the step three? What are the skill sets of an HR department which is going to grow high? It is time now to understand if you, as a person or as a lead or as a leader, have to identify the digital tools, then how do you go ahead about it? Now, in this identifying process, one is about the employee experience. So this employee experience, we have to know how, the tools which we are going to incorporate, are they really going to impact or have a positive impact on our employee experience? Are they really going to have a change in the quality of services? Are they really going to have a change in the decision-making process? Are they, so these three will be a top criteria which are going to happen right now. To introduce a particular tool in your organization to accept to take charge of a task. You have the employee experience tool. You have measured the tool on the employee experience. You have measured the tool in terms of quality of service, which is going to be provided. Now it's about, you really need to understand the tool which you're going to introduce. How is it going to facilitate your decision making in the whole process? So that assessment has to be done in terms of understanding whether the tool which we are going to introduce is going to help me introduce decision making or going to facilitate in my decision making. Then after we are done with these three assessment, the fourth assessment which is definitely to be done while identifying a digital tool is about the scope of integration. And what is scope of integration? Suppose we are having 20 processes under the HR department, and the department as a whole decides that we will digitalize 4 out of the 20. And the next, after 2 years, we will integrate, or we will digitalize another 4 out of the rest 16. Now, as a holistic system, how the first 4 changes are being integrated, and together we now can see 8 changes on the same platform is something which is called integration. So while the assessment of the digital tools are going to take place, it's really very important to understand how the tools are going to help me have a scope of integration going ahead. Today, I have an application, an app which is available to take care of one of my process. Tomorrow, I might use an enterprise solution which is available to take care of my needs. Day after, maybe the organization thinks of developing their own software. In case there is a own software development which is happening, this enterprise solution and the app has to be linked to the software which is getting developed. Or maybe the next part, you go into SAP. So whatever work we have done in the last 5 years, is the app really helping us to get integrated to SAP once as an organization we decide to go into SAP? That is what is the role of integration, and it has to be one of the skill set while any department is deciding on the access of digital tool for the particular department. As I told you last time as well, that it's important to know how, it's not important to know how we are going to accept the technology. It is really important to know while selecting a digital tool, why are we selecting them? Are they matching our philosophy? Are they going to help us in terms of any metrics which the company as a whole wants to really look into, which the department as a whole wants to place to the management? So that has to be one of the skill set for you to identify while you are assessing a certain technology. After we do all these processes, do not forget to analyze what are the challenges and the risks which are going to be associated with that particular technology. It's not that challenges and risks are bad. It's about we need to know what are the challenges and the risks so that we are able to address it well. Let me take you to the whole transformation process. And in this whole transformation process, any company who is thinking of going digital has different steps to follow. Any department who does digital projects, they also have various stages of implementation of a digital process. Now let us look into what is the worldwide. How does a company move from manual structure to a digital structure? The first thing which any company wants to introduce or maybe convert digital is all about processes related to documents and records. Anything which is related to record keeping, bookkeeping, documentation, which are just a storage those are the first tasks which normally gets into digitalization. The second type of task which moves ahead into the digitalization is about a certain process, a certain business process. Now the company as a whole, they decide that of the various processes in every department which we are doing right now, how many of these processes can we digitalize? That is the second step of moving to the digital transformation. The third step, after you have done the step one, which is very easy to do, which is the record keeping. The second one is about a certain process. When I say certain process, if I have to give an example of HR, for example, HR department, attendance can be a certain process. Leave can be a certain process. PMS will be a certain process. Induction, onboarding can be a certain process. Exit may be a certain process. So as a company, I may not be able to convert my entire department digitally, but what I can, of course, is a digital. So that takes place as the second step in the whole digital scenario. The third one, which takes up, is about experience. So when we talk about experience, whatever is the employee experience or whatever is related to the customer experience, that is the next part which gets digital. And the last one, which the company really looks forward, is about operational excellence. So after we have gone through all this digitization process, what is the operational excellence we are going to achieve? And then the company decides about a certain particular excellence factor and then transfers that factor to a digital forum. This is how, friends, any company moves on a digital ladder. And there have been ups and downs in conducting the digital transformation process, but no doubt that it is the need of the time. And this is where the next investment of a company is going to be. It's time for us to maybe have a second poll. I have a question from, okay, so we'll wait for the poll to happen. The next poll question is, what percentage of your task you feel is digitized? We'll just wait. I see the numbers growing up. Yeah. Till now, what I can see is majority of the people, they speak about maybe around 25%, but less than 50% is also equivalent. So there is a scope in many industries about having 75% more tasks, about analyzing from the 75% more tasks which can be digitalized. Very few people, I think around 24 answers, where people are feeling that less than 50% of their work is digitized. But that's a very good scenario for people who are having approximately more than 25, but less than 50% of your work which is digitalized. It's a it's a very good scenario looking at the overall wholesome scenario of the industry currently. The industry today falls into less than 25% of the work being digitized. And so is the answer which is coming from the poll itself. So in case we have 25%, less than 25% of our task which is digitalized, my friends, just tell me, aren't there tasks which you yourself can identify that, yes, these are the processes maybe which we can turn into a digital process? Now the challenge will come up are many. And one of the major challenge is all about budget. Is all about, we do want to have a change, but what if we don't have the budget or our company doesn't have the budget? There is somebody who has asked, Yeah, there is somebody who has asked, how will the HR or people department show their ROI if we move towards digital or virtual work? So let me answer this particular question. So for the HR to show their digital work, to show their ROI, digital is a better process to show. Why? Because now let us assume that maybe you have 100 recruitments which are happening in a month. Now, if you don't have a digital process, what do you do throughout the process? You actually take up the CVs, you screen them, you then look into calling them for an interview. You have to set up a timeline, call them for the interview, and then do this process and stack your CVs somewhere. There are two modes now in case you have to show your ROI. If you are maintaining on ATS, or if you are maintaining on a drive, Google Drive, whatever be your process of maintaining the data, it takes very less time for you to segregate the data, to organize the data, and show your efforts faster. That this is the effort of the department. ROI, to show the return on investment, it's not about investing a lot of time in any task we are doing. It's about investing the correct time in a strategic task which we are doing, and then only the HR earns the mark in the organization. If we are spending more time but the work which we are doing is not adding to the ROI of the organization, even if we labor hard, we show the process, it is not going to benefit. And that is the right thing which I just told you 2 minutes back, that the change which is going to happen is not about process orientation. It will be now about outcome orientation. So technical digital transformation always helps us arrive to the results faster, because any technology, you take up any technology, multiple technologies, they have multiple reports. But to my experience, as per my experience, I may share with you that all the reports are not being even scrolled through by many people in the organization. Okay, I have another question coming up. So, which is digitization anywhere in rural area, is it okay? Of course, it is okay. Today, rural is contributing to a larger percentage of the GDP. And in rural, do not consider that that digitalization has not entered. The primary digital factor which has entered into the rural is the mobile access, the internet access through 4G. So if that has entered into the rural and people now know how to use a certain mobile, what stops us in making digital the rural activity? In case there is an application which is being built, language can be one of the factors. An application in a certain language can be an option for you to go digital in the rural economy. There is another question which has come here, friends, which is from Anuradha, I guess. Okay, I'm not sure. In case of a budget crunch, how can you complete the task without using these technologies or softwares? So let me tell you, in case there is a budget crunch, my friend, there are a lot of free apps today which you can download. The first one which an organization can do, or maybe you have to take a permission of your organization, or maybe the IT department's consent in the organization to do, is about Google Suite. Google Suite comes free to a certain level. In case your organization do not have the budget to go digital, but then every data storage can be on the Google Suite, because that's a collaborative platform. In case you are, suppose for example, you are making an offer letter, and that offer letter requires 2 people to give some input. So ideally, if we are not digital, the process of working is we write a mail to the other person that I need this information, kindly provide. And once the information comes to us, the offer letter is being prepared. But when we go into the drive, we work on a collaborative platform. So part of the work is done by me, the rest part of the work is done by the other person on the same document, and we don't have to rework on it. But it needs a little bit of new skilling. It needs a little bit of you to invest time in understanding how to work on a Google Suite platform. I think this question came from Bhavya Arora. And there is somebody who has also written that, what is that that is really a challenge when people don't actually welcome digital transformation, especially when it is about the documents. Even after the digital copy provided, they still expect, which doubles the job. And again, somewhere the purpose of digital transformation is lost. My dear friend, you are very right. But as I told you, that the role of the HR here is about creating the awareness, the communication. And let me tell you an example how the change happened in terms of digital transformation, a big change which has happened in the industry, and the industry initially was not accepting, but then started accepting. It's about payment receipts. The entire banking and the entire consumption industry, when they work on payment receipts, initially it was all signed receipts by the finance department, and the receipts were sent to the people, to the consumer. Gradually, of late, couple of years back, there was an act which was passed on that digital printed invoices and digital printed payment receipts are acceptable and do not need a physical signature. This initially created resistance in the industry, but believe me, in few years, the whole industry changed. And today, when you send an invoice, nobody signs an invoice. Nobody signs a payment receipt. It automatically is created from the software. Just there is a small line which is written at the end of the invoice, which is about this is a digitally invoice and do not need a physical signature. This happened only because the awareness got created in the market. And similarly, if we have to really look into reducing the double work which we are doing, the HR department is doing, please start doing awareness and communication programs. Gradually it will fall. It will not fall immediately, but gradually it is going to reduce. I have one more question which has come in from one of the audience, is that what is the end game on digital transformation? Where are we going when we complete transformation? I have two parts of this particular question. Two parts to the answer of this question. The first is end game on digital transformation. Digital transformation is the output of innovation. Today we are speaking about digital transformation only because the innovation on the digital space has taken place. And innovation is something which is always new. It is always, there is somebody who is working on it. Initially, when in my experience, 10, 15 years back, when I was into the corporate and we were working on the digital projects, it was more of scanning documents and saving it in a storage space. But gradually, it turned to feeding the data online at real time. And then it gradually changed to real-time reports. And today, the entire process has changed to cloud storage. In the last 15 years in the digital space, this is what is the change. So I'm sure that in another 5 years, digital space will give us something new to have in our kitty. There are few people who have asked about, there are multiple change management models. Models work better than others. In the change management models, see, every organization will have their own change management process. Any change management model, the communication and the output, and the reasoning of the change management primarily becomes important. So there is no concrete change management model which is applicable to everybody in the industry, but surely the objective has to be very clear. And once the objective is clear, the change management becomes a little easier. I think there is another question which is coming up, which is at the end of the financial year, we have to do account audit. How we can make it digital? See, on the account audit part, the audit today, there are, if we speak about the big four companies who are into audit, There lot of processes have been digital. You speak about PwC, EY, or maybe any of the big four who are into the account audit system. The audit parameters are very well fixed. The audit framework is very well fixed. The audit frequency is very well fixed. And today, everybody is working on audit processes. And the scenario, the industry is moving towards having more of audit from external entities or consultants or maybe third-party vendors. Account audit, all your processes, if it is being maintained, there are a lot of softwares which the account people are working, be it on Tally or on ACE or on SAP, FICO module, whatever it is. But in those scenarios, the audit framework can be digital. And once you create your framework well, then you have to only follow the framework at a certain frequency to make your processes more streamlined. Are there any other questions which are coming up? Okay, so in case we have to really just summarize the whole process of digital transformation, first, what we as a company, we should look at is primarily to find the task, to find the technology, and to find the business processes which we can automate, or to convince our management, and then finally get into communication, awareness, and implementation. But also it is very important, friends, to look at that it's not only about implementation of the digital technology. There has to be a certain process of evaluating the success of the digital implementation across various departments. So there are a lot of organizations who have created cross-functional task force to do the task audit of their own departments differently. Like a team of HR, IT, finance being built, or a business excellence guy being built together to understand the department's KRA and to audit on the department's KRA. So these are small steps which every organization is taking. And when there is a presentation or the final discussion which is happening, a lot of companies, they call all their CXOs to be a part of the major decision-making process in the digital projects. So this is how the digital transformation is going to shape up. And as HR, definitely we have to lead from the front line. I'm sure that as an organization, as a responsible individual, you yourself would be wanting to understand and to find the task which has to be automated. Budget constraint, my pledge for all of you would be, please find out free softwares which are currently available. I can very well recommend that you can start working on Google platform to just start with, to just understand, in case you have a budget crunch. First, find a lot of applications which can really track and help your process to be automized. But of course, you have to look into the security part of it. And for that, you might have to take your technical support staff help to understand whether this application is a secure application for this for the digital project. And the world is really going to ask you to be digitally skilled. Are a part of this program today. Please invest. It's just a kind suggestion. Invest 1 hour every day into self-learning. It's very, very important for you to invest your time into learning so that you are prepared for the future. Of the 9 hours of your work, around 8 hours should be into the task which is to be done, and another 1 hour should be the investment to make yourself ready for the future skill set. Be it convincing skills, be it digital skills, be it metric skills, analytical skills, and these skill sets have to be rightly identified. You might pick up whichever is your interest area and start learning on all these platforms. We as a responsible organization, Possible Training and Consulting Services, as a responsible organization, we have taken this responsibility that we will be helping a lot of companies to have their employees turn digital, or maybe to train them on getting into the first level of the digitalization. And whichever companies they are into already into the digital space, we may help them get into another level of digitalization later on. There are behavioral programs which we conduct. There are behavioral training programs which are being conducted in order to help people learn convincing skills. And those are scenarios which we conduct. And we will, of course, update all our programs on our LinkedIn page going forward once we are settled and we know how it is going to happen. And all my thanks to all of my viewers today to be a part of this particular program. And the KEKA HR team, a very helpful, hardworking team who has taken a responsibility of conducting these webinars for the benefit of the mass today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And hope we meet again in some other webinar.
For everyone out there, thanks for attending this webinar. The questions that were not answered, we'll try one of our consultant friend to come and pitch in and help you with those questions at on your email thread personally. We will be sharing all the videos and documents to all the attendees uh, by end of the next week, and all the videos and documents will be shared on your email as well as on LinkedIn. Do subscribe KEKA as well as follow KEKA as well as follow Possible. All the links have been shared because we are not, we as an organization wanted this to be very organic, and we wanted people to send across the message of doing this thing together. Let's digitally transform ourselves. Okay, signing off from here. Thanks.
Thank you so much.